right now.
Good afternoon, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the Facebook land and the online internet space. I have Sean Harvey from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you don't know where that is, that's directly north of Montana. For our people in United States of America, my brothers and sisters, y'all from the United States. I have my co-host, Julia Patterson. We have Casey with us today. We are going to provide some serious value for you today to help you understand what needs to happen in between your two ears to change your life and your business and take your life to a whole new level. So, Julia, if you do me the honors, please.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for showing up today. And we are really excited to have Casey on here with us. I don't even remember where you're from, Casey.
Ohio. So Casey she's one of these gals that's busy. She's a stay-at-home mother of 5. She came into the online space about 7 months ago, and she's been kicking it. So she left her previous career as a psych nurse in December. So she's decided she's never going back. Good for you, Casey. I don't blame you at all. Casey's a professional network marketer and is extremely passionate at helping others to start their own business and get them on the right track. Yep, that's
Strengths in recruiting and team building, and she has a ton of things that have in her way that has never stopped her, and she pushes harder every day so that she can get closer to her goals. You sound like a gal right up our alley there, Casey.
Yeah.
So Casey, if you don't mind telling us a bit about your story, whatever you want to share, because I know that there's been some tough spots in your life, and any aha moments you had along the way, and what it is that you do to keep yourself motivated and inspired. And along the way, we're going to ask you little questions here and there, so don't be surprised if we kind of, go off. but welcome, and thank you very much for joining us today, and go for it.
Well, first, I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much for getting a hold of me. It means a lot. So I have a crazy life. I have 5 kids, and I went to school to become a nurse. I've always wanted to be a nurse since I was little, so I went to school to become a nurse, and I made that happen. It took a while. I made it happen, and I worked as a nurse since I got my license. And I got caught up in it, working all the time. My husband works all the time. 5 kids, I never got to see them. So I worked full time. I was going back to school to continue my education, and it was just not working. And one day I was at work, and I decided I need a new job. This is not working. I need a new job. I need something that pays more so I can work less. So I get online, and I was at work, actually. I was having a bad day, and I went outside to go take a break, and I started looking for maybe new jobs. Well, I happened to log on to Facebook, and when I logged on to Facebook, that's actually where it all changed. I logged on to Facebook. I hadn't been on Facebook for quite a while. And I logged on, and I seen someone's story on how she was, working online. And if somebody would have told her then back then what she would know now, like, it was just I seen this story, and I'm like super intrigued by it. So I started checking it out, and long story short, I had no idea that anybody could work online. Had no idea you could work from home. And when I found that out, it was all over. I figured out what the girl was doing. Yeah, I figured out what the girl was doing, and I didn't waste any time. I got right into it. I invested my time, my money, and it was a no-brainer for me. Yes, I had a little bit of doubt, like, is this really true? Is this, like, can this really happen? And then a little light came on. I'm like, well, you're never going to know until you try it. So I took, I guess you could say, the benefit of the doubt, and I went for it, and I haven't stopped since. And I won't get into what the company is, where it was, but I realized I jumped into a company that I felt as I invested a lot of money into it, and I felt as if I was a little bit in over my head. So I have that still on the side burner, but I kept looking elsewhere to see what else was going on. I started off with like affiliate marketing, and now I'm into, I guess you could say, network marketing. It's a different name. They call it social retail, but it's basically network marketing, and that is my passion. And I just thank the Lord every day that I happen to get online that day, because had I not, I wouldn't be here where I am now. And it has made my life so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, being an entrepreneur is not, it's not all glam. It really isn't. But my life is completely different. And I've only been doing this for like 7 months, about 7 months now. I did not waste my time. I got going. I did not. Once I decided that I was going to do it, I started, and I'm doing it. And that's the one thing I think that people have to do. They have to decide. They have to make a choice what they want to do. And if they want to do something like this, you have to go. You can't test the water. You have to jump in. And that's what I think anyhow. I think that you need to jump in if there's anything like this that you want to do, or with anything that you want to do, you got to jump in. So that's kind of how I got started. It's a very, very wrapped up story. I mean,
so Casey, what have been some of your roadblocks? I mean, you mentioned to me yesterday when we were chatting that you had some roadblocks from even before you started in your business, when you were younger and things like that. What are some of the things that have happened with you?
Well, yeah, so what hasn't happened, I should say. I mean, everything I swear to God, I feel like nothing has been there has nothing that has been paved out for me. Nothing. Anytime I turn around to go do something, there's some sort of roadblock. I don't care if it's family putting me down, or if it's friends not understanding what I'm doing and don't want to be a part of it, or it doesn't matter. So I have 5 kids, and I'm with them all the time. It is really, really hard. And I don't have a babysitter or a nanny or anything like that. And my husband works all the time. So I have to do everything a little bit different. I have to work according to their schedule. Mm-hmm. And that is a roadblock in its own, because I can't just have like a set schedule every day, because it's kind of goes on how they go. So that's been a huge block. But if it's something that you want, you will find the way. And that's how I've done it. I stay up till 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'll sleep 2 hours and start at it again. It's been a journey. It's been a hard road. I mean, it's not easy, but if it's something that you want, it is possible.
So most people, I would say that they have either a why, or we heard somebody say recently a desperate why. And I guess your desperate why probably was to just get out of being a psych nurse and taking your time and freedom back, right?
Exactly. So the thing is I do like being a nurse. I do. I really do. It has its own rewards, but I brought all that reward to the internet. I love helping people, and I feel like I get to help people more online, helping them, make a bit. And kind of the way I see it is, as a psych nurse, I was still taking care of elderly people. It was like a long-term setting, in their elderly ages. And so now I am helping people in the beginning of their life, starting their life into their future, opposed to helping them, in their elderly years. So I'm still helping people. And sometimes I do miss nursing, but I'm not going to be going back.
One of the biggest challenges that I've seen is people don't realize how much being a psych nurse is a blessing to the world, but on the other hand, it takes a toll on your life. It kicks the snot right out of you, mentally, emotionally, physically, every day. Because I don't know what the stats are in the United States, but I think they're pretty close to Canada. At least 65% of the population has some form of mental health issue that has come from their upbringing, their relationships, their abusive, whatever the case may be. I mean, people don't understand that when I was an advisor, 9 out of 10 families that I seen was stressed out about money because they didn't have any. And that caused a lot of people to get sick. They get off of work because they're focusing on the wrong things. I mean, it's just a vicious downward spiral that we need you guys to do what you do every day to help us get into that position of being mentally clear to focus on our lives. But people don't realize how critical being mentally sound is for your life and your business. And it's tough. I know I was beaten down as a child mentally and physically myself. I know that if I didn't have personal development in my life, I probably would have been one of your patients. You know what I mean? So right. I just tell people, you know what? It was a blessing for me. It was a blessing in disguise that I could have went down that lonely path like my best friend who I love and dear the most. We've been friends for 30 years. He's been dealing with mental health issues for pretty much his whole life. Yeah. In and out of the hospital. He's off work. He's going back to work now in the next few days to try to get back into the working force because, let's be real. Being off work because you're depressed is okay, but we got to say, okay, we got to grab life by the horns and say, let's go make a difference, and it's got to start with me inside.
Right.
What am I getting myself around? Am I hanging out with positive people? Am I hanging out with people that want to encourage me, praise me, and recognize me for the little wins that I have in my life? And I think that most people, I'm sure you can relate to this, Cassie. Most people, Casey, sorry. They're like, oh, Casey.
Oops.
See, in Canada, that's Casey. So that's why I say that. I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Cassie.
That's all right.
Casey. So once you have that, you literally have to look at yourself and go, how can I become a better person from the inside to become a better person on the outside?
Yep, exactly.
Because when you look at yourself in the mirror, if you don't tell yourself that you love yourself unconditionally no matter what, and I know that money flows to me freely and frequently and all these other things that you should say to yourselves. I mean, a lot of people don't have an attitude of gratitude. They haven't looked at where they came from, right? Yep. And say, man, I've grown so much. The people that I've connected with, the relationships that I've forged for friends for life. I mean, I've come a long way. Julia's come a long way. You've come a long way. Many people have. And we need to just sit back for a second, breathe. How many times has life taken your breath away, right? Mm-hmm. And just keep moving on and just, you'll get through this because people are out there that truly want to help you get through that little bit of swampy part of your life. Because it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when.
When.
And when it does happen, you have those people that are there in your business that want to say, hey, what's going on with you today? Let's go and have a cup of coffee. And that's so important because so many people are living busy lives that they've forgotten to say, hey, you know what? I haven't talked to Julia for a few days. We need to have a chat. Maybe there's something going on with her, or Sean, something going on with him, and just be there to help each other. And I think that that's so critical. So thank you for being the psych nurse that you were. I know that the healthcare system is going to miss you, but your bigger purpose is helping other people in the business that you're in and you started. So thank you for what you do.
You're welcome. I mean, I really appreciate it. And, you made me think of something. Being an entrepreneur is more than making money. It really is. I think, to me, making money, I mean, obviously we all want that lifestyle and we do this for that lifestyle, but I think that is so little compared to everything else that has happened. I have grown into this completely different person that I did not know 6 months ago. Or 7 months ago, I had no idea that I could be the person that I am today. When I first started this whole journey, I was depressed. I didn't do anything but work and sleep, and which was very little because I was always working or going to school, one of the two. My whole outlook to life has changed. You're doing personal development every day. Well, you should be. You better be if you want to make it. You better be doing personal development, and like you had talked about, Sean, affirmations is stupid. And as it may seem in the beginning, you'd need to be telling yourself, I am beautiful. I can do this. I am talented. All these different affirmations, You need to be telling yourself that. And because of that, those things and all the self-development that I have done, I'm completely different. And that can be a really good thing, but basically you're going to change into somebody different, and most of the time it's for a better, it's always usually better, especially when you're doing the self-development like that. You're going to change. You might change more. I've changed a lot. Some of my relationships that I have had, I surround myself with positive people, and if I have negative in my life, they're gone. If those people are negative, they're gone. I don't talk to them. Even if I have a best friend that is, I don't talk to them. It's done. And your marriage might change. You might realize that you've grown apart. That's all I'm going to say about that one. But you just change. Everything changes, and as you are growing and you're bettering yourself, people have an issue with that. You'll always hear your friends say, yeah, they want you to do better and they want you to do better. But as you get...
Whoops.
Oh my gosh, I had a call.
Oh, is that what the... Okay.
Yeah, I had a call. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. What I was saying is that you're going to change, and usually it's for the better, but you're going to lose a lot of those relationships that you might lose some of the relationships that you had, and a lot of them you're going to have to fight for them. And that is my experience.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to make some friends and you're going to lose some friends.
Yep.
And it's that crab bucket syndrome that says to you, Casey, don't do that. You're getting uncomfortable. You're leaving a good corporate job. You're a psych nurse. You make $35 an hour. Are you crazy? You don't even know if this thing's going to work. What's wrong with you? Maybe you should go get your head checked. There's all these craziness that they do, and it happens to everybody. They don't want you to win in your life because they don't understand and see what we see. But on the other hand, when we're the first person to win and we go up to them and say, oh, you know what, Casey, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. I've so believed in you, which is a bunch of BS because they should have believed from you in the beginning. They said, there's a reason why you did what you did, and you're just doing it, and kudos to you. Great job. Yep.
That's exactly what I am experiencing right now. The people that backed up and was super negative or doubtful or whatever, now they want to know what I'm doing. Now they want to know how they can be a part of it. Now, how can they help me? They knew that I was going to do so well. Well, to me, it's a little bit late.
Yeah. They should have been there to support you right from day one.
I really needed that support because, when I first started, it was like I was a target for everybody to attack. Literally.
Yeah.
And now everybody thinks that I owe them something or I need to help them, and that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Not for me anyways.
Yeah. That's why it's important to have that support system because, when you connect with other entrepreneurs, like Sean and I have connected, now we've connected with you, I've connected with Milt, and your sister's on here as well. You guys are connected. I mean, you have that support. And other entrepreneurs are usually the only ones that can provide that.
Yeah, it's crazy because I get more support online than I would ever get. One person would support me more than my entire family here. And I talked about this recently, that it's not so much that your family wants to dog on you and be negative and hate on you. It's not like a hate thing. It's a I want to protect you thing. And they're afraid that you're going to fail. So I understand it, but it's just so much better if someone would, it's just in your own head, you wish you would have that support. But then you just have to show them you are doing this regardless whether you have their support or not. And like I said before, you have to make a decision. You either go for it or you don't. You can't halfway go for it. And once they see that you're not playing around, you're going to get to the top. They see that, and then they wish they would have been supportive. And it's kind of funny now to see the reactions out of people.
I'd like to share a story, guys, really quick here, because my husband and I have been married almost 35 years. And when I went on my first real journey of, pushing myself forward, I had a friend and I who, for 6 months, every day, we challenged each other to do something that made us feel like we were going to throw up. You grow really quick when you do. And at that time, my husband being in the military, he was up in Edmonton, and he would just come home on weekends, and he noticed these huge leaps forward, right? And he said to me, being honest, he said, I feel like you're purposely growing away from me. And I said, I understand that, but that's not what I'm doing. I don't like me, so I'm working on me. And he said, well, what for you? And I said, come along with me. Yep. And courage, it took courage for him to say, okay. So if there's I'm telling you the story because if there's somebody in your life that you really, really want in your life, invite them to come on the journey with you.
Yes.
Right? And that could be your spouse. It could be your best friend. Whoever it is, you don't have to cut them out of your life. That's my point of right? Is that if you want them in your life, invite them to come along. If they choose not to, that's their choice, right? Yeah. So anyway.
And that's what I had with my family. I told them, you have two choices. I am going to make it. It's just a matter of time. But I am going to make it. And you have two choices. One, you can be when I get on stage in front of all these people, you can be the thank you so much for being there for me and pushing me. Or you can be the part of, to all you haters. And I meant that. I seriously meant that. And my family, and I didn't say this so recently until I really was doing it. And until, I've grown so much and I never stopped. That's how I have came so far in 6 to 7 months. Most people don't do that. And it's because I had drive the entire time. I didn't stop. I had hangups, of course, like everybody, but you just keep going. But when I said that to my family, they realized that I was serious. Mm-hmm. And if I had to leave the relationship with my parent, because my dad's hard to explain to. My dad is he's just like me. And he is very, very hard-headed. And he believes what he wants to believe. And my dad unintentionally would mock me. Oh, look at that dream house. You really think you're going to get that? Really? Well, I'm like, Dad, you'll see. Well, I'll probably be gone by then. Like, he would say crappy things, and I don't think he really knew what he was saying. Well, now, one day he was over here. He's like, so how much money are you really making? How much you got in your bank? And I showed him, and he's like, oh, okay. So it just, they'll stop after they see what you're doing. And it's not so much of a, I want to hate on you. It's a, I want to protect you type of thing. And you can tell them you have two choices. One, you're going to be this part of the story, or two, you can be this part of the story.
Yep.
And you get to choose. And
here's the other thing to that, Casey. If they don't understand and think outside the box about, well, how are you going to make money online? And you just share them, hey, guess what? Do you think Amazon, they don't make $500 million a day in revenue sold around the globe on autopilot for a reason? You can get a little piece of that. And they're like, then they start to think, yeah, maybe she's right. Maybe she is going down this path. And that's just one thing. Like you said, affiliate marketing, all this other stuff. It's crazy on the money that's made online. You can be an affiliate for a hotel company. You can be an affiliate for a rental car. Anything. Apple, for crying out loud, you can be an affiliate of, and people don't see that. And right. The biggest thing that we need to do is we got to get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable, like your sister Harley, about showing her face on camera, because her story means something to other people, just like your story.
Yeah.
And we tell people this all the time. It's okay to be an introvert, but introvert is going to keep you broke. Yep. It's not going to put you in that abundant life that you so deserve, and it is your right. Abundance is your birthright. I'm an extrovert. I'm a 2,000% extrovert, and I'm okay with that. Was I always this way? No. But I knew that in order to go to the next level in my life and my business, I had to become that. Yeah. I got to be obsessed with being successful because I'm not average.
Exactly.
Grant Cardone talks about that. In order to get what you want, you have to be willing to do what most won't, and you must be willing to do that to get that happen. So the scenario is when you get around those people that help you do that, it's life changing. It's altering. It'll want to make you throw up every day, like Julia said.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me want to throw up, but I would rather do videos than die. And most people would rather die than do videos.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
People want to connect with real people. They want to feel that, hey, you know what? I'm willing to give my life for my business, for my family. Because, hey, when I had a job, I used to do the same thing. I used to break my little girl and little son's heart because I had to work extra.
Yep.
Just to pay the bills, just for the paycheck. So if I was willing to do that for them there, guess what? If I'm willing to do this here, I know the results are like you, where you get to spend some time with your kids.
Yep.
There's moms out there, moms and dads. You know, I'll give you a quick little story. I was the only dad that went to my son's preschool, and this was a few years ago. He'll be 16 in a few months, but the teacher pulled me to the side and said, I've been a teacher for 24 and a half years, and I've never had a dad show up at an event for his kid, for their kid. Do you actually work? Do you actually have a job? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I have a job that I can control the time with the people that I need to spend with them that are important to me.
Right.
Oh, well, what do? I'm market. Oh, that sounds like a pretty awesome business. I said, it is. My business is always open, and I take personal time when I need to take personal time in chunks.
Yep.
It's all about being in the driver's seat of my life now versus the passenger seat when I have that job.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part that people want to see and hear.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually go down a path here, Casey, with something you mentioned earlier. Now, we know that most people, the biggest thing that stops them is excuses. And a lot of times it's fear and self-worth that stop people, right? So being a mom of 5, your time is really limited and it's in chunks. So I would be willing to bet that when you sit down to work your business, the only thing you're focused on is income producing activities. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
So you have probably this little list or it's bigger list, but whatever. You've got
4 or 5 things that I do every day.
Exactly. Yep. And how many of us actually break our day down into those little chunks that are going to make the biggest difference? And so I'm bringing this up because Sean and I've talked to Milt about it too, where we can see that if we don't do those handful of things, we're not going to get where we want to go in our lives. We hear our leaders talk about it, our mentors talk about it. And I can see that you're doing it, and whether or not you've heard it before, but you're just automatically doing it. Mm-hmm. And so that's really powerful. So I just wanted to bring that up and say congratulations for figuring that out so quick.
Thank you. Yeah. So right now, yeah. And I caught that early on. I had a really good person to be my mentor when I first came in, and right away, I mean, I don't know if I can say her name, but Kiara, if you guys know who Kiara is, she was my mentor. And right away I found Ray Higdon. I did tons and tons and tons and tons of studying and personal development. But the thing is I didn't sit there and do all that and just sit there. I implemented. And that's how I get to where I am. And you have to take charge. There's so many people that join my team or say they want to join me, and they're all hip to this, and they're so excited they want to do this and they want to do that. And then they disappear. No, you can't do that. And you need to do those couple things. And right now I'm doing a 90-day run where I'm doing as much as I can. And it's hard with the 5 kids, but I have to make it work. And basically what is your conversating, starting connections, conversations, making connections with people all day long. I hit up 40 people in hopes of 20 no's a day. That's hard, but you got to keep at it, you know, and that's one of the you got to be talking to people or you're never going to make money. Some people think that they're going to make money by talking to one person a day or one every other couple days. Nope. It's not going to happen.
Right.
People buy you and they buy your lifestyle. They buy you in You know, you have 5 children. How many other parents out there would die to spend all that time with their kids? It might not be 100% one-on-one time because we're busy. We got lives. You got to cook. You got to clean. You got to do laundry. You got to be the maid.
Yep.
All of these things. And what I'm going to share with you is that I learned this in a very, very fast period of time. Get outsourcing, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, all that other stuff. Hire somebody full-time so mom could be mom. And that's a blessing because many other people want that. But they want to try and do everything ourselves. We only have 24 hours in a day, 86,400 seconds. There's only so much of us to go around. If you have 5 kids, that's less because you have all those other things that you have to do. And you're trying to run the household while you're trying to run a business at the same time.
Yep. I'm looking for a nanny right now. For real.
Good investment because that's going to help you spend more quality time with your children.
Yep.
So that when you're not running your business, you're focusing on your kids. You're not worried about, you know, the laundry, the dishes, all of that other stuff. It's already going to be done. You're going to have a spotless house. The kids are going to build a relationship with somebody that you're going to like, know, and trust.
Yep.
That's going to be a family member. I mean, it's going to be a blessing. And it's going to take your life and your business to a whole new level. And that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited to it about it too. And I just want to point out with what you were just saying, when you don't have the extra help. Now, I am grateful. I do have a couple people that do help me out. My mother will take care of the older 3 as much as she can. And then I have the 2 babies. Them 2 are something else. I'm telling you what. They're together, that's like having like 7 to 8 kids. But anyway, my brother's off work right now, so he'll try to help me until he goes back to work. He tries to help me out, but you know, he tries. And then, you know, so I do have a little bit of help. And then when my husband tells him, he'll try to help out a little bit. But I want to point out that when you don't have somebody to help you, you can still do this. If you want to know what I did, well, I'm going to tell you anyway. I would do all this stuff, all the mind training, all the trying to learn what to do and what not to do and da-da-da-da. I can do all that stuff while I'm with my kids, while I'm cooking, while I'm cleaning, because I put my headphones in and I listen to everything while I'm cooking, while I'm cleaning. And I hire coaches and I will conversate with them while I'm doing whatever I have to do. And I'll stop and take my notes and I get it recorded so I can listen to it later. There's so much stuff. Like if you're driving, do mind training while you're driving. I mean, if you have a job, you know, whatever, there's always some sort of motivational thing going on. There's always some kind of training going on in my ears and I'm focusing on that plus doing dishes or whatever. Do what you got to do. If you want to make it happen, make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it.
And Zig Ziglar says that very well. You spend 2/3 of your life driving to and from work and driving around the kids to soccer, the ballet jazz, the skating, the figure skating, the hockey, the lacrosse, all this other craziness. Mm-hmm. Turn it into your automobile university. And in 4 years, you'll learn more in your car through audios than you will by going to university in 8 years.
You know, I got so used to working in my car because I didn't have anywhere to go at first until I made my office, which I still can't go there because I got kids coming in all the time. But anyway, I think, like last night, I was thinking about what am I going to talk about in my life? Do you know where I went? I went to my car. I drove around the block a few times. My car is like my thinking tank. Awesome. And you just got to do what you got to do, I guess, you know, and that is what I was willing to do what I got to do.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, to complement what you just said, most people are not willing to die for their freedom, for their security, for their safety, but yet they rely on this job that sucks the life out of them, that totally consumes them. And I was one of those too. I had a driving job that was, you know, 26 years old. Started when I was 18. I ended, you know, just before my 44th birthday. So it's been a little bit over a year now. And I can honestly say this, working 16 to 18 hours a day, 6.5, 7 days a week as a transport driver, while juggling the financial advising at the same time. And then I still worked both. I was like, really? I'm looking at guys that were, you know, 55, 10, 15 years older than me going, they're on divorce number 2. They're not very happy people. Do I want to go down this road? I'm like, no, I need to make a change. Like, this needs to stop now. I literally did whatever I had to do to get the hell out so that I can, it literally, from the amount of sleep that I did not used to get, it took me 7.5 months to start to feel normal once I actually was able to sleep a reasonable sleep every night.
Sean, define normal.
I don't know what normal is, so you can't ask me that.
Well, I mean, you look at this. I mean, I would literally sleep on 4.5 hours sleep a day, 5 hours at the most, but I don't think all of it was complete sleep. Yeah. That's why when you're a transport driver, every 6 months, they'll do a sleep apnea test to see how much sleep you actually get, how much nice sleep, how much crappy sleep, and how much really awesome sleep you get, how much oxygen, all that stuff. I've had those tests done for many, many years, passed with flying colors on every single one of them. And I look at this now and I'm going, man, I had to drive Mac. I didn't have to. I chose to. I drove one of our affiliate kind of colleagues 7 hours to and from where we were at. We were in Orlando. We had to drive him to Fort Lauderdale, which is 3.5 hours away. We did that drive in 2 hours and 45 minutes at 90 miles an hour. It was a great rush. And I'm looking at that when I got back because I literally drove his car there and Daniel cars back. Didn't have to. I wanted to. It was a great, great time. Mm-hmm. But I look at this and I told everybody when I got back, thank freaking God I don't drive for a living anymore, for the simple fact that that was a refresher on I was in the right place, because that was literally half of my day. I would have to go and do that drive again, and that would almost be my full day. My average day was 14 to 16 to 18 hours a day every day without no mechanical breakdowns, no issues with the warehouse. And I'm going, man, thank you. I'm in the right place.
Right.
So it's all in perspective. I appreciate you sharing that. And people need to understand one thing. You're going to get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable so that you can get the life that you deserve for your family. Because when you have to call your wife or your kids and say, sorry, I can't be there for your birthday party, for your dance recital, anything like that, you get your heart in your throat and you start to cry because you know on the other side that they're crying.
I went through that so many times.
My daddy was there. And this is why we do what we do every day, guys. It's so that you don't have to be in that position ever again. You tell the other person on the other side, you know what? My little girl, my wife, my son, whoever, I have something important that I need to be at. I'm going to be there. I don't need you. You need me more than I need you. And that's why we do what we do every day.
Right. Yeah. And I tell, so there's two things I want to say because I keep forgetting. One, the video, like you're talking about the video and you doing things that you don't want to do or you're afraid of. If there's something that you feel nervous about and you're just scared, like you just don't want to do it, you need to do that, whatever it is, like the video. Video is scary. I get it. I've been there. I've done it. I came from not ever being online, never doing a video, not liking my picture taken, but that has made me grow 50 times over and over and over and over. Every time I get on a video, I grow. Mm-hmm. And so it's not easy, but whatever it is that's holding you back or that you feel like I'm scared, I should do that, but I'm too afraid, do it because that's what's going to make the most growth in your life and you as a person and in your life. And now also too, what you were saying about getting choked up because you got to tell your babies, I can't be there. I was never anywhere. People are starting to wonder if I just gave up on my kids, I think, because I was never anywhere. I was always doing this or doing that, or one of the kids were sick or whatever. But now it's not like that. And now I can take my work with me to the game. I can jump on a live when my kid's playing and, do my live there if I need to. I can work till 4 o'clock in the morning if I want to, or get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever. You have the freedom and flexibility to do whatever you want. And you can really change your life with this. And people don't really realize that.
And here's one thing that I'll share to that. People don't realize the importance of why they need to be uncomfortable sharing their story. Look at this. I didn't know that Milt drove a truck for 45 years and we've already connected and he knows exactly what the hell I'm talking about. And here's the best part. I was not a long haul driver like he was. He was a long haul driver. He was gone for 25 to 27 days a month. He was home, changed the bedding, fixed the truck, wash the truck, get whatever you need to get, spend maybe 2 days at home, and boom, he's back in the truck on the road again. So he was a long distance driver. I was a short haul driver, so I was home every night after a long period of time. How many drivers are in the same position as my story, because him and I relate, are in that position that want to be home, that are so scared about dying in that truck because they don't have anything. If they don't work, they don't eat.
Right.
How many of those people like yourself, Casey,
Yay!
that are looking to be a stay-at-home mom, to be able to travel and spend the time that they need to spend with their children so they can go to the hockey games, go to the soccer and baseball and t-ball games? There's so many people out there that need to hear your story. And I can't emphasize this enough, guys. It's do or die. It's a must. You must get good at telling your story, because there are people that you're going to inspire by you doing that are going to cry and they're going to reach out to you and say, you know what? That live that you did the other day totally got me choked up. I need to get out of my own freaking way. I need to make this happen because it's me stopping me from my true abundant life and spending it how I want to spend it.
Nope.
Oh,
she's muted somehow. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. You muted. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I was just saying, you help so many people and you don't even realize it. Just because somebody doesn't jump on your live and let you know that they're there doesn't mean you're not helping them. I had somebody last night jump on one of my lives after it was finished, and he told me something that almost made me cry, because, you know, he told me that he left a message on there saying that I didn't realize it, but I have fixed him and his wife's relationship by listening to my motivation, by watching me, I guess, by watching me do what most people think is impossible. And I guess it gave them hope, and it has fixed their marriage. And that is just amazing that I have that kind of power on somebody. You don't even realize how many people you're actually helping.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that that's a lot that we take kind of for granted, that, oh, my story sucks. I don't want people to have a pity party about my situation, all these things. And when you truly just step back and go, you know what? I know there's people out there that need to hear that story.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it kind of took you it kind of blindsided you a little bit to go, wow, I really did make a difference on that video that I did, even though you weren't thinking that way when you did that live. You just did your live. And that's the whole part, guys, about doing videos that are going to be there forever. It's real estate online. You know when people are looking at the lives the most? Between 2 and 4 in the morning, because they're dreading that freaking job that they have to go to the next day, and they're looking for a way out.
And that's what happens to be when I do most of my lives.
and they're crying quiet lives of desperation, saying, please help me. Please guide me to a place that I can change my life once and for all and forever. I'm begging you. And that's why they're doing what they do. And that's why they connect with us when they connect with us.
Yeah.
There's people, somebody said this to me the other day when we were in Orlando. He said, don't think that people aren't looking at you, Sean. He said, you might only have 2 or 3 people that comment on your lives, but people are watching. And we connected. I had goosebumps listening to it. I'm like, really? And I was like you. I probably didn't think, well, I'm just rambling on because I like to talk.
Yeah.
But it truly connected with somebody, and they're like, thank you for saying what you said, because we related to what you said.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I didn't expect him to say that. I didn't expect, you just don't realize who's watching. You don't know. I mean, people are like Santa Claus. They're everywhere. They're always watching.
Yeah, the eyes and ears are on the ground. It's like the government. They've got their eyes on you. They're watching us.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, you just got to keep working, keep going. You might not realize that you're making a difference, but you are.
Yeah. First thing we have to do is we have to change the inner roots to change the outer fruits. And when you change the mind crap that we got going on inside, it's like, you know what? There's no room for rent, guys, in a positive mind. You can have You're going to lose your credit card. You can lose your passport when you're traveling. Anything can happen. We've all been there. It's all on how you react or respond. You got two choices. You could totally blow up and have a complete meltdown, or you can say, you know what? This is the universe's way of saying that I'm in the right place with the right people for the right reason, and I need to refocus and reevaluate my focus, because being an entrepreneur is not a straight road from A to Z. It is windy, it's curvy, up and down, it's turnpikes, it's up, it's down, it's the roadblock, and then you got to go down a different road. That's the universe's smackdown on why we do what we do every single day.
Yep.
Casey?
Another thing too, you have to enjoy the journey. You can't just be set focus on money, and you can't just be set focus on the end. You got to enjoy the process. You got to enjoy the journey. And one thing that I'd like to tell people is, if you're doing this only for money, you might want to find something else, because there's so much more to this than just making money. And another thing too is, if you focus on making friends, and if you focus on helping people, like literally trying to help people and helping them with the best, and helping them with in their best interest, then you're going to make money. The money's going to come, but you have to find the people to help first. And you can't go to them with money on the brain. You just can't. You got to go to them and let's make a friendship. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if I have something that I can help them with.
Yeah.
You're looking to make the quality of, somebody else's quality of life better.
Yeah.
And that's
so when you have a bad day, what is it that you do to pull yourself out of it?
I will listen to mind training. Seriously. If I feel like I'm having I listen to mind training as soon as I get up anyways, regardless of what kind of day I'm having. I also write in my gratitude journal. If I'm having a bad day, I will double it up. I will listen to it all day long. And then I'll sit there and kind of reflect on, who have I helped? How have I changed? Like, I refuse to let myself have a bad day, because I know how the law of attraction works, and I refuse to let myself have a bad day. I don't care what I have to do. I will turn it around. And that's what, mind training, I thought mind training or personal development was a bunch of fluff. I really did. I just thought it was a bunch of bullshit crap. And, until I started I just listened to that, my mentors telling me you need to do it. So I just did it. Okay, this is stupid, but okay, I'm going to. And then I realized how much I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
If it weren't for mind training, or I call it mind training, if it weren't for personal development, I wouldn't be where I am now. So if I feel like I'm going down that road to a bad day, I just step away from everything and seriously just focus on the mind training in myself and make myself happy. Go do the affirmations.
Yeah, that's critical. It's critical. People don't realize that they focus on things that they can't change. Or sorry, they focus on things they can't change versus things that they can, like your attitude and your activity. And I had this conversation with my best friend a few months ago. He got into an accident. He literally spoke into his existence what he did not want. He told the tire guy, don't bother putting those tires on, because I'm probably going to get into an accident anyways. Less than 2 hours later, bam, $15,000 damage to his vehicle. And he don't believe in this stuff that we talk about every day. I love him to pieces. Eventually he will get it. I told him, don't talk negative. Don't talk shit. Keep the shit, goes in the toilet. You got nothing good to say, don't say it. You got nothing good to say about others, don't say it. Just keep it to yourself. And that is so important. Your thoughts become things. When you start talking crap all the time about your life or people or whatever else, guess what? Crap's just going to keep happening and happening and happening. And you're going to be down that train, that plane wreck. Crash and burn. We got two choices. We can frown or we can smile. It takes less energy to smile than it does to frown. And guess what? You can literally walk up to a complete stranger, guys, and they won't even know you, and you smile. Guess what? They got two choices. Turn away or they'll smile at you, because it's hard to look at somebody with a smile on your face and go and literally like force yourself to frown, because why is this guy smiling at me? You know what? I'm hyper. I've been hyper my whole entire life. I don't do drugs. I'm hardly drink. People think I'm on something. You know what I'm on? I'm on adrenaline because of the high that I'm on in my life for my vibration to attract good people in my life and my business.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about my life. I should be excited. And I need the world to know that, hey, I'm a fired up guy because I'm obsessed with being successful so I can help more people become successful.
Yep. And you know what? I don't know if you heard me or not, but it takes less muscle to smile than it does to frown.
I didn't, but hey, we said the same thing. So awesome. Great minds think alike.
Yep.
Sean, I want some of your juice.
What's that?
Milt says, I want what Sean is drinking.
Oh, I drink love, passion, and purpose every day.
And Tim Hortons tea.
And Tim Hortons tea, yes. I know y'all don't have that down there in the United States of America. Come on, but we do here in Canada. So that's
some places do have it, actually.
Just starting to. Yep. They got it in the Philippines. So my wife's like, what are you going to do when we go to the Philippines? I'm like, I'm going to drink Tim Hortons. I'm going to stay in Manila because they have it there.
So one thing I wanted to point out, and I don't know if you caught it in Casey's story, but basically what she did was she made a decision to come in to online marketing and be coachable. She
Absolutely.
has done exactly what her mentors have told her. And so many people try and reinvent the wheel. And Casey, good on you for your mentors must love you.
They do. Even people that's not my mentor, I got people on a different team and they're like, I need you on my team.
But that's the key, isn't it? That's the key to success, is find a mentor you like, know, and trust who is successful. You want to do what they are doing. So you just follow them, do what they say. And Casey's proof that, 7 months and she's rocking it. So that's really exciting because there's so many people that do try and reinvent the wheel, and it's really sad to see people fight for it, right? So
you like we talked about earlier, you do the money making activities, and that's what I do every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to share, I will, but also, I came in, like I said, I started off with affiliate. I just started my first network marketing type of company February 28th. Since I started February 28th, and when I first started, I took a couple weeks, about 2 weeks to start it because I had so much other stuff going on, and I was just kind of a little scared. I started acting like a lot of people do, and so it wasn't even 2 weeks. I'm not going to say that it wasn't even that long, but I started. You start something else. I was a little nervous. I was a little afraid. I don't know what to do. And then I sat back and I'm like, are you serious? You don't know what to do? Really? So I had to just push myself, and it was all new to me. So, you get a little afraid when you start something new, like doing video. It's new. You get afraid. Anyhow, I found somebody that was doing what I wanted to be doing, and she wasn't at the top, but she was somebody that I could relate with. I got a hold of her. I said, what do I need to do? Give me your time. If you can give me a little bit of your time to tell me what to do, I promise I will do what you tell me to do. And I have, and I've done everything she's told me to do. And both months, I've only been in 2 full months, and both months I got myself, because I didn't have a lot of help, I got myself to team leader bronze, which I don't know if you're not going to know what that means, but sometimes it takes people a while to get there. And I just hustled my butt off. Last month alone, I recruited 11 or 12 people by myself. And the first month I was in, I hit like 6 or 7 or 8, something like that. And I have people wanting to know, how am I recruiting? Well, it's just because I actually talk to people. You have to talk to people. And you just got to decide that you want this and put yourself in it. Don't pick and choose what you're going to do. Do what you need to do.
Sometimes you have to do the tough stuff, right? It's all a learning curve. So it's very important that you found somebody that you can follow, and you found something that you love to do, and you're making a big impact, and it's just going to get larger and larger because you're going to teach your people what to do, right? So, which is very, very important.
Yeah. So this time I have a goal. And another thing, set goals. If you are at I'm doubling up my goal this time. My goal has doubled up, and I will get it because I'm that focused. I've already been hustling like it was the last day of the month. You know how you hustle at the last day of the month? I've been doing that already.
Awesome.
And
you gotta hustle every day of the month.
Yeah, I will be at where I left off in the next day or so. So last
Awesome.
month, where at the end of the month, team leader, I will be hitting that. Hi.
This is my beautiful wife, Emily.
Hi.
He's got a Filipino wife too.
Wow.
So I will be hitting that the next day or two. So I'm really excited about that. But you just got to set your goals and go. Don't ever change your goals. Ever, 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 ever. If you have a goal to hit something at the end of the month, regardless if you hit it or not, don't change. Don't change it. And if you get to the end of the month, something that I've learned recently is if you get to the end of the month and you're not even close to your goals, you still keep pushing it. You don't change it. You keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And don't downsize, and always look to see why you didn't hit them.
Yep.
And
what did you do?
The other thing too is don't shrink your lifestyle into your paychecks. Stretch your income to fit your lifestyle.
Yep.
And so many people are trying to, well, I got to cut this, got to cut. Yeah, we don't disagree with trimming some fat in our financial lives. But if it's a tax deduction that's going to help you at the end of the tax season, by all means, do it. If it's something that you cannot deduct, there's not an ROI on it. And I learned this in a very young age in the industry as financial advisor before I got in. If I'm working a 6-figure job like I was, and I got a paycheck, the government got 50% of my paycheck and they didn't do any of the work, guess what? I was looking and I was open-minded to going, well, the government didn't do any of the freaking work. I did it all. And they made just as much money as I did. That's not fair.
No.
Boom, my entrepreneurial journey started. So if it's an investment in your business, coaching, program, whatever it is, software, it doesn't matter. It's 100% tax deductible. It's going to help you with your JOB income. By all means, invest in it. Invest more in yourself and you'll have an ROI that will last forever.
I got paid for having a business this year. Usually we either hit even or pay in. This time I got paid back, so that was great.
Sweet. but think of this. I did a post about 3-4 weeks, a month or so ago, and I asked people, have you ever received a tax deduction? No, I had to pay. Well, are you open to learning on how to get those tax deductions done? And they said, yes, great. Julie and I and a couple other marketers, we're going to create a course that's going to educate people in any business. It doesn't matter which one it is, on why it's critical to have a business, even if you have a job. Mm-hmm. And it says right in the book, start and utilize a small business, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. It might be a lawn cutting service for our teenage kids. It might be a lemonade stand for our daughters. Whatever it is, it's a deduction that's available to us as a parent and as them as individuals.
Yeah.
So that's mind-blowing. I'm super excited to share that with the world when it comes out. But everybody started a business for a reason. What is that reason? To actually make a lifestyle or to deduct expenses? I mean, business is great, but if your bigger purpose is to help more people make money and help more, you give more versus you get, it's going to be a game changer. And yes, Milt, to answer your question, Lamborghinis are tax deductible if you're using them for business.
Yeah.
So if you're taking people around on rides, yes, portion of them will be tax deductible. I know Ashley had a question. I don't know if we want to wait for a few minutes and then we can get to his question. But yeah, this has been exciting.
Well, I just I just want to help everybody in general, and I think that is why I'm doing so well so early on. I hear all the time from top leaders, and I'm not like tooting my own horn because I don't even like to do that. I mean, I was telling Julia, I don't know what to say, but anyway, about myself. But anyways, I just want to help people, and I have top leaders all the time telling me how well I'm doing, and they can't believe it, and I'm going places. There's no doubt about it, and that feels nice. But I think it's all because I dove in. I didn't just put my foot in the water and tested it out. I jumped all in, and I turned this into a lifestyle, not just part of my life. It is a lifestyle. It's all of my life is all about this right now. It always will be, because I love it so much. It's not like a hassle to me to have to do this kind of stuff. You enjoy the journey. And yeah, it's not always perfect. It's not always fun. It's not always the best thing. Like I said, it's not always glamorous, but I really just want to help people. And I do those money making activities or income producing activities, and just go for it. Just the biggest thing is deciding what you want to do. And I am so blessed that I decided.
Awesome.
So we're going to take Ashley's question. Go ahead, Ashley. You're unmuted. Come on, don't be shy.
Hey, Casey.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you joined. What's up, girl?
Nothing much. I just decided to join.
Awesome. Love seeing your pretty face.
Same here.
What question you have?
What did you say again?
What question do you have?
I don't have any questions, but I'm just here to listen to you guys.
Oh, okay. Okay. We thought maybe you had a question.
No.
Well, we're glad you're here, Ashley.
Absolutely.
As people.
All right. It's all good.
Awesome.
This is one of the challenges that I have as an extrovert. I know people have a story and they need to tell something to somebody, but they're scared to ask. And don't be scared, guys. We want to help encourage you to say, you know what? It is okay to get out of your comfort zone to ask questions. Don't think that question is a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. The only thing is the unasked question is a stupid question.
So questions throughout I've asked so many questions. I'm surprised somebody didn't say shut up.
Yeah, and you know what? If you don't know, you don't know. I don't know everything.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly, and we want to help you understand. And one of my mentors told me a couple weeks back when we had our session, he says, you know what? Nothing good comes out of poverty. So if you want to take your life and your business to a whole new level, being broke, being in lack, being without being able to give your family what they truly want and deserve doesn't serve anybody. That's why you being an introvert, and don't take this the wrong way, guys. I love you all. Your life being an introvert to what you want is going to have to change. Otherwise, you will have that despair life of not having enough money at the end of the month and all those other things. We got to get uncomfortable being uncomfortable to move forward, to attract the people in our lives, because guess what? There's more introverts in the world than there is extroverts. And that's not your fault. It's our upbringing. We were told, you know what? Don't talk out of hand. Put your hand up. All these things. Don't ask stupid questions. And we've been programmed. Money don't grow on trees. We can't. We're broke. All of this craziness. It's a bunch of BS. We've been led down the wrong path for our lives. School system teaches us to be average and ordinary. There's no such thing as average and ordinary.
I was going to say, society has us programmed to think that we're supposed to go to high school, graduate, go to college, become a doctor, whatever, rack up tons and tons and tons and tons of money on schooling, get out. Who knows you're going to get a job, if you're going to get a job or not. And I decided I was going to break out of that.
That's the biggest scam on the planet.
Yeah. Because, and another thing too, a lot of people was like, well, I don't have money to invest into this. Why would I invest in this? Blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, once you understand what this is all about, if you have no money to invest, that's all the more reason why you need to do this. If you don't have the money to go to an event, well, that's why you need to go. If you don't have the money to invest into a business that you would like to do, but you don't want to spend the money, that's more reason why you need to, because You catch what I'm saying? Am I saying this right?
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely. Most people say they don't have money, but guess what? They go to the car dealership, buy a 50, 40, 50, 60, $70,000 car. They don't look at the cost of what it's going to cost them for the vehicle. They look at okay, this is $500 a month. I can afford that. I'm going this way.
Mm-hmm. And the thing with, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool.
I was just going to say with the, like network marketing, it's the lowest cost. I mean, network marketing makes the most online business, and network marketing makes the most millionaires in the planet, like in the world. Network marketing makes the most millionaires, but people don't understand that, and they'll pay fortunes to go off to college, but they don't want to spend $500, $600, $700, $800 to have a business.
Casey, I'm going to amend that to online marketing because affiliate marketing is very, very profitable too. So
Well, yeah, I just
online marketing, yeah.
online, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
I'm used to talking about network marketing
Yeah,
now.
I know.
And here's the best part. It's
Marketing.
100% tax deductible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. People won't take a chance. They think it's going to come just, it's just going to flow to them, and they don't want to do the work. And that's when people start calling it a scam and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but it is what it is. You put into it what you get out of, or get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Right?
We successfully create a lot of millionaires, folks. Scam. Successfully create a lot of millionaires in this marketing world, whether it be offline or online.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure.
Super exciting.
It's amazing, and I am so glad that I got here, and it's been a blessing. It's been a ride, and I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. Doesn't matter how high up I'll get, I'll never remember this because it was the climb.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, I think that this was another mind-blowing edition of Success with Dynamic Duo.
Very good.
I don't know if it was for you, but it was for me because I got goosebumps. I know I'm in the right place with the right people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Casey, not Cassie.
No, Cassie.
Cassie.
I just want to say this, guys. Get uncomfortable going forward with being uncomfortable, because everything you want in your life, including the car you want to drive, the vacations you want to take, where you want to travel, who you want to travel with, if you want to be in the Philippines, you want to be in Boracay, you want to be in Tahiti. There's lots of places around the globe that I can think of, me being a Canadian, Julia as well. Rather than being minus 30, and it's not minus 30 today, it's plus 15 degrees Celsius, which is awesome. But I can think of better places to be in the last 6 or 7 months, and that's not Canada. That's on a warm beach somewhere.
Yeah.
What choices are you making in your life and your business? Thank you again, guys, for watching this edition of Success with Dynamic Duo, and we will see you on the next edition. Take care, guys. We'll post the recording very, very shortly. See you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.